This week on the Steele Report.
So we wanted to focus more on the grieving family because it does still happen, unfortunately.
We'll talk about a relatively new foundation, the Lane Michael Birch Foundation, to help grieving parents who have lost a child. We'll also check in, see what's going on with the Hartman Reserve Nature Center in the Cedar Valley. And we'll talk about a new option for assisted living right here in the area. And our program begins right now.
Now from KWWL, this is the Steele Report.
Well, right now, please welcome to this week's edition of the Steele Report, Kristen Birch and Destiny Pringle of the Lane Michael Birch Foundation. Now, Kristen is the president, Destiny is the vice president, and I know the two of you have been friends for most of your lives, so you have a special bond there as we talk about this very, very important story that we're airing today. Now, Kristen, your foundation bears the name of your infant son, Lane, who lived to be just only 4 months. So I know this is a very, very difficult thing to talk about, but please tell our audience what happened to Lane and why you decided to start the Lane Michael Birch Foundation.
Yeah, so in February of 2019, I got the worst call that a parent could imagine. I found out that Lane was found unresponsive, and after that, we kind of thought it was SIDS, not really sure what had happened until we got the autopsy report 3 months later, and we had found out that he had passed away due to unsafe sleep. So that, I mean, we wanted to make sure that we changed a negative tragedy, or, you know, it was a negative event that occurred, very tragic. And so we wanted to have something positive come from it. So we started the Lane Michael Birch Foundation. I wanted to finish nursing school in 2019, so I finished that, and then so we started January of 2020. So we officially had our first event and on social media, and it was a birthday fundraiser, and that's where it all began.
Destiny, I can tell you're a very, very good friend, an incredible friend to Kristen. So what was that like, having to go through that with her? Luckily, you were there for her and the family. And so the Lane Michael Birch Foundation obviously is very personal to you as well.
Yeah, so just being there right after honestly was pretty hard because I could tell that my friend was struggling, even with her and her husband, and Easton wasn't really understanding what was going on. So just trying to be there for her and support her in any way that I could was really important to me, because she had lost her son, but I didn't want to lose, you know, my friend since the second grade. So.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been lifelong friends, and that is so important, as you always will be around for each other. Here's a picture of your website. It's the Lane Michael Birch Foundation. We have some pictures here, want to show of the family, and also it does tell the heartbreaking story, so I ask viewers to be sure to check that out. You also have a page on Facebook. We're going to show that right now, and that too highlights some of your upcoming events. Let's talk a little bit, Kristen, about an event that's coming up in Iowa City, an Easter egg extravaganza, I understand, on April 10th, and then another event, Laps for Lane, a 5K in June. Tell people about those events and how they can get involved, and hopefully you'll still be able to have them in person.
Yeah, so that's the hope, depending on how COVID goes. And but we do have that plan, the Easter egg extravaganza for April 10th. We're going to start putting the eggs out at 9 a.m., but the first actual group that will go hunt for eggs will start at 9:30. And then there's another group that is ages 6 to 12 that will go at 12:30. But we're super excited. Just getting the family out of the house and being outside and enjoying the nice weather will be great. And it's a great way to help fundraise for our foundation. Then the Laps for Lane. This is something we talked about last year, doing a 5K, and with COVID we couldn't do it. So we're definitely looking forward to this 5K and getting outside again, and then just enjoying the weather and looking forward to what 2021 has to bring.
Destiny, given the restrictions created by COVID, how has that impacted the way the foundation has been able to operate since you actually started really almost at the very beginning of the pandemic?
So it's actually been really hard to get our name out there, just so that people can see, you know, what we are and what we do to help families and stuff. I think the biggest struggle last year during the pandemic was just getting events out. So we had to move everything online that we already had planned before, we had to stay indoors, 6 feet apart, wear masks. So there's an annual memorial ride that we do, and we had to basically do everything from Facebook because we couldn't get together. And it even kind of hindered our board members just because we weren't able to get together to meet. So a lot of us weren't even on the same page a lot last year. So hopefully this year we can lift some of those restrictions and get back together.
Yeah, that would be fantastic for your organization and so many others. Now, Kristen, I know that you have had contact with a good friend of mine, Alicia Palmer, of the Knox Blocks Foundation, whom I understand actually encouraged you, this is just like Alicia, encouraged you to create the foundation in Lane's name.
Yes, she has been a huge help. I feel like I bother her probably way more than I should. But she has definitely been my #1 resource. And so that first year in 2019 when we lost Lane, we had done that annual ride and raised funds and actually donated to the Knox Box Foundation. And then I went to the gala that they had, and it was just absolutely amazing. And I think that's when everything started to come about, that I was like, I really want to do something that's similar but can help in a different aspect. So they focus a lot on the safe sleep and those monitors. So we wanted to focus more on the grieving family because it does still happen, unfortunately. So we focus on that, but we have incorporated this year still doing some safe sleep aspect of it as well. And hopefully I've been in contact with Alicia, and hopefully we might have some kind of partnership where we can get some outlet monitors for our safe sleep totes that we have started.
Yeah,
so there's more to come on that, but I reach out to her a lot. Just want to emphasize that 2020, even though the COVID restrictions were in place and we weren't able to do a whole lot of events in person, we still had so much support and still raised a very good amount of funds, and we're able to help quite a few families. So we're just so looking forward to what 2021 has to bring, because 2020 was great, even though we had to do a lot of stuff virtually. So I just want to make sure that everyone that has supported us and reached out and hugged us and helped, raise any kind of funds at all, we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, you've probably found that you do have some incredible friends and a great support system, and a good friend appearing here next to you today in the program. So, ladies, thank you very much. We wish you the very best of luck. Thanks to Kristen Birch and Destiny Pringle of the Lane Michael Birch Foundation. Be sure to check out their Facebook page and also their website. We'll be back with more on the Steel Report in just a moment.